fans. Luka Doncic and the Mavs made sure the home opener was a raucous good time and a rousing success. Luka led the way with a 26 and 14 double-double, but he had plenty of help from up and all the way down the bench. Jalen Brunson with 11, Reggie Bullock 16 and 4 threes, Tim Hardaway Jr. with 16, another double-digit game, and the Mavericks take care of business here in their home opener. Welcome to Mavs Live, brought to you by Frontier Communications. Dana Larson along with Devin Harris. Jeff Skinwade will join us here in just a moment, but Devin, there's a lot of happy Mavs fans filing out of the building right now.
They are. Not off to another great start. Struggled in that first half defensively, offensively didn't make shots. But I think there's something that we're seeing with this team in the third quarter. They really came out aggressive defensively. They got active hands. Penetration was a lot better. They made shots, and the bench has really developed. We've been asking for more help from the bench other than Jalen Brunson. We definitely got that tonight.
13-2 was the start to that second half in that third quarter. That was a great tone setter. We saw the same exact thing happen in that Toronto game. They really tightened up defensively too, and that entire second half, after giving up 31 to the Rockets in that first quarter, those guys were playing fearless. They were energetic, but it seemed like the Mavericks in the end said, all right, let us get the defense working here a little bit and slow you guys down.
I think it's the energy, coming on the bench, making the proper adjustments. The energy picks up. The guys really focus on, and the defense is just really, they're active. A lot of deflections, aggressive defense. Luka doing a great job. He had a super block as well. But these guys really just picked up the intensity and gave these Mavs fans something to really cheer about, especially in the second half. And I think that's going to be a trend all season long. These third quarters are really important.
You heard the interview with Reggie Bullock, right after the game, and he said, we're close already to being as good as we want to be defensively. How far can that go for this Mavs team? They have to continue to put all of the energy that it takes. You know how much energy it takes because it's the will and the want on the defensive end.
It is, but a lot of these guys were brought in for that specific purpose. Reggie Bullock. All these guys, Dorian Finney-Smith, this is where they make their money, is on the defensive end of the floor. And obviously threes are a secondary thing, but 3 and D is really important for a lot of these guys. That's who they chose to surround Luka with, and it's got to be a purpose. These guys can't be successful without that end of the floor.
Boy, love to see the way that the bench did not only get minutes, because all 10 played. It looked like Jason Kidd really wanted to see guys out there, see different combinations. And you can see in the game over the weekend in Toronto, the bench with just 11 points, 52 here tonight. The field goal percentage way up. There was a lot of rhythm, just a lot of energy, obviously. And 15 assists. The ball was moving. So much of that, too, is predicated by the play of Jalen Brunson, who was just the quarterback of that group.
Double-double off the bench, 11 points, 11 assists. I thought they got a big lift early on from Boban. They did an incredible job, offensive rebounding. But Jalen was doing so much a good job of running that team. And we talked about it in the pregame. Like, Jason Kidd trusts him so much. But he's doing a lot of good things, not only scoring, but getting other guys involved and running the team to a T right now.
I love what you just had to say about the trust, because it was Kidd who called him the machine, and trusts him as much as he trusts Luka is what he had to say. And you can just sense with Jalen Brunson, by the way, hello, Skin.
Hello, gang. How we doing up here?
Nice hustle.
Yes.
We're talking Jalen Brunson and the fact that he brings so many of the things that Jason Kidd, is looking for to the game when he comes in.
I was sitting here thinking about, all right, it's good that we talked about him before the game, but I think that's going to be a regular thing. I mean, what he's doing is what is expected of him. And Devin, I looked up and I felt like he had 6 or 7 assists in the first 6 or 7 minutes that he was on the floor. And if he's going to check in and get everybody involved like that, you cannot ask for more than that from a point guard coming off your bench.
No, you want guys to set up. It started with Boban, right?
Yeah.
Then he started to find Tim. And then, it was just a plethora of different guys getting involved, and then he started setting up himself. Mm-hmm. And that's the mark of a good player. When you get other guys involved and get yourself involved to be that dual threat, it's hard to guard.
I think also something worth talking about, you mentioned Boban. Boban checking in early in this game is a sign to our fans, I think, that there's a lot of things that need to be figured out about this team. They're not just rolling out game one going, here's our rotations, here's what we do. There's things to be figured out, and I think you saw very unique rotations tonight compared to those first two games, which is an indication there's a lot more work to be done here.
Well, he's got to figure out a rotation. He's got to figure out which guys work together, how successful they can be. And I think, the struggles early on are kind of proven like, hey, we still need stuff to figure out, like you said.
Yeah.
But the only way you can do that is throw guys out there and see what happens.
Yep.
Getting to know some of the new guys, certainly here. That does include Reggie Bullock. He's been in the league for a while. We know what he does well, but I think we know his favorite spot, don't we? Right wing Reggie. We know we've got left wing Luka. Now we got someone on the other side because he drained 4 very pure shots right there off the right wing tonight. And he just looked so comfortable there.
Hey, analytically, if you know where your spots are, get to them. And I imagine he shoots a ton of shots from those spots. But if he can be that deadly from the spot, they run a lot of plays for him. And, he's a shooter, and shooters going to shoot. I think Tim said it in the interview. It was only a matter of time for this guy to get going. He shoots the ball too purely. Defensively, he's really active. But I love his aggressiveness and, just really came out and really didn't let the 2 previous games kind of bother his confidence. And I'm happy to see he came out and made shots.
Yeah, we saw a couple of those there that I think Harp really took notice of in the game. One was when he just dribbled into that deep right wing Reggie. I love that when he dribbled into that deep one. And then also the up fake, sidestep, step back, and knock it down. Those are, people talk about a catch and shoot guy. Well, it's always not going to be just a pure catch and shoot. You got to read that closeout. And if you can still get that 3 and get a great look, that's a sign that you are locked in.
Boy, and he knows what he does well. He knows it's where his bread is buttered. It's why he has been in this league now for so long. He's found his niche. He's happy to be there. And the Mavericks are definitely going to be happy to have him playing that role. Let's look at Luka's night for sure. Another sensational shot-making night, right, Devin? As we watched Luka find his way through this game, he finishes with 26 points. What were some of the things that stood out to you?
You blink and just you look up and it's just like a night like 26 and 14. It's come to be expected, and everything he does is so smooth. He reads the defense so well, and I think he's doing a better job of getting other guys involved. He's reading the situations and reading the game-like situations, when to be aggressive, when to make the right pass, and I think Jalen's taken a lot of direction from him as well. But what I like to see, like the punishment in the post, really taking advantage of the smaller defenders and just really focus on the shots at and ones. And it's just this guy's a magician when he's out there. But I just love it's like painting his mural out there. He's just painting it and it's taking his time, not letting anybody speed him up. And it's just he's Luka.
And I also like some of these newer wrinkles. The idea of the other team's going to shoot a free throw. Luka, you get on there and just wait on the block. And then we're going to get you the ball down there. People have so much conversation about what is it or isn't a good post-up. That's a great post-up. When he doesn't have to work to go get paint, position, and then you just come down and feed them. That's what they used to do with centers back in the day. Now you're doing it with a guy like Luka. So there's just so many different ways that he can score. But I love what Devin said. Punish them in the paint. Physically, he's just a hoss.
Well, and I was telling Devin how much I like watching Luka and Jalen play together, and for some of those very reasons you just mentioned. Speaking of an artist, Jason Kidd said he's a Picasso out there, and we certainly get to watch him put up a thing of beauty on a nightly basis. Much more coming up. Mavericks have their first home win of the season, their home opener, a success. The crowd was thrilled to see Luka Doncic tonight. We hope to hear from Jason Kidd coming up as we continue in just a moment.